Oh my. My original Your Skin Undertone is Neutral video with a big question mark on the end of that. Well, it's been 2 years since that video was initially published. It has many dislikes on it now, and I've got longer hair. I've decided to dust off that topic once again and hopefully clear up any confusion around a neutral skin undertone while also helping you decide whether you have a neutral skin undertone. Stay tuned. Okay, so you think you have a neutral skin undertone. Did you know there are 3 categories of neutral? Neutral cool, neutral warm, and full neutral. Do you know which category you fall within if you think you have a neutral skin undertone? Well, in this video, I'm gonna work you through the topic and help you decide. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm not a fan of the vein test. I never even really talk about the vein test. Most of my in-person clients who have a warm skin undertone, for instance, have blue veins around their wrist. I'm also not such a fan of looking at your skin tone in isolation because your best colors are based on the underlying qualities of your skin. It is very tricky to look at your skin in isolation and go, am I peachy, am I olive? You know, things like that. It leads to a whole bunch of confusion. I will also say that it is extremely rare for somebody to be fully neutral. They will either lean neutral warm or neutral cool. To be fully neutral, like I said, is extremely rare. To give you an idea of how rare it is, from all the in-person clients and all the students I have seen in the last 2 years, I have only pulled out my fully neutral color flags maybe 5 times. And we're talking about hundreds, perhaps thousands of people here. So it is very rare. You typically will lean warm or cool, so neutral warm, neutral cool. Before I jump into going through a bit of the neutral color theory, I also want to just put out there that there are 3 aspects to every color we see: undertone, value, and intensity. And so when you're only looking at the undertone of color, you're actually missing a second and third piece of the puzzle. So once you figure out your skin undertone, I encourage you to also look at what value and intensity of colors are best for you. And you can find that out through a color analysis. There are 3 ways to do a color analysis: in person, which to me is the best way, online, and do it yourself. To quickly explain neutral cool, neutral warm, and neutral undertone, I'm just gonna walk you through a little bit of a drawing I'm gonna do. I like to explain things while doodling. So if I was to do sort of a chart, putting cool over here and warm over here with neutral in the middle, neutral, exact neutral being 50-50 makeup of cool and warm, I would then put neutral cool on here on the chart, so slightly leaning to the cool side of things, so slightly more blue purple underlying qualities to your skin while also having some yellow golden qualities, and neutral warm on this side of the chart, so leaning slightly to the warm side, so slightly more yellow golden qualities to your coloring while also having some blue qualities to your coloring. So here is what I consider a neutral undertone range. So now you know a bit of the neutral color theory. Let me walk you through some steps to help guide you on whether you have a neutral cool, neutral warm, or fully neutral undertone. The first thing I would do is look at cool fabrics versus warm fabrics against you. And so I've done so many videos on that topic, so I'll include the link to those videos in the description below. Head on over to those videos and test cool versus warm on you. If you find that you like cool versus warm better or vice versa, it is likely you lean cool or warm. The second thing that I would do is look at my eye pattern video to help you determine whether you have a cool, warm, or neutral undertone. I'll include a link to that video below. If you find that your eye pattern has both cool and warm elements in it, you likely will have a neutral undertone. So in the first step, if you say liked cool better, like the cool fabrics better against you, but in the second step, you find that your eye pattern has both cool and warm qualities in it, it's likely you lean neutral cool. And in the first step, if you find you like the warm fabrics against you better, and in the second step, you find your eye pattern has both warm and cool qualities to it, it's likely you lean neutral warm. Okay, so let's say in the first step, when you compare cool fabrics versus warm fabrics against you, you simply just can't decide. They're both equally as good. And in the second step, when you look at your eye pattern, you find you have both cool and warm qualities in your eye pattern, so hence you have neutral in you. As a last step, as a double check then, and keep in mind, this is extremely rare. People typically would lean cool or warm, but here is some fabric examples that you would use to test fully neutral. So these fabrics are fully neutral, so 50-50 makeup of cool and warm, and are of medium intensity and medium value. So here is a teal, here is a pink, here is a red, here is a white. It's got a slight amount of yellowing and brown added to it, ever so slight. And here is a chocolate brown. So that is what you would test to determine if you are fully neutral. So you don't lean cool, you don't lean warm, you are fully neutral. To test those fabric colors, like my other video said, I would cover what you're wearing with a white piece of fabric, have no makeup on, sit in natural daylighting, and if you color your hair, I would also cover your hair with a white piece of fabric. And when comparing these fully neutral colors against you, I would compare them against the cool and warm, just so that you see the reactions of your skin. So I would put the neutral fabric on the bottom, put cool on the top, compare those, decide which one you like better, and then I would do the same for warm. Put warm on the top, neutral on the bottom, and compare and look at the reactions of your coloring. So there you go. Hopefully this helps you fully isolate whether you have a neutral warm, neutral cool, or fully neutral undertone. And I hope this video helps to make you sparkle.